How has the African spirituality journey been for you, if you don't mind sharing? Sakina uhaka trees. Everyone started worrying that you were going crazy, and then they were like, "Usbumela geze agashefe, smaze fresh." He looks like he's losing his mind, and at the same time, you were like, "Guys, I'm going through a journey. Besides what I'm doing in terms of business and my own growth, and I'm a father of a beautiful daughter, Waratwa, I'm going through my own spiritual journey. Inzalo elanga, we sat with Umkhulu Ntsingiza, we've sat with Joshua Maponga, you've sat with Okokos Koteni, you've sat with so many people. Abo Zamalek Giza. I don't know if you'd like to share, because you've said it's personal, but where you are currently in your African spirituality journey.
So I was meant to release a book. By now, it's supposed to be out now. A publisher rejected the manuscript of the book and said, "Nah, I thought your manuscript would be better than your previous book, but it looks like you haven't improved, and I expect more from you. You've done incredible work in the past. Like, we have to take it a level higher."
You only work with one publisher?
Right? Yeah.
Okay. So they can gatekeep the release?
No, they're not gatekeeping. I mean,
they're just saying, "Look, we know your standard."
I love what she brings to the table.
Okay.
I love the markets she gets me into.
No problem.
I love what we've worked well together.
Okay.
We've done some incredible works, right?
So
and
it's not like a door was like, "Hey, go do something else," and there's other doors.
No.
It's you speaking to a partner, a publishing partner.
Yes.
And they're like, "Spuda, this is not you.
Yeah.
We need a better song than this one.
Yeah.
Pump it up."
Type of thing,
Okay.
right? So that's why I put the book on hold. I was like, okay, let me release it next year. Let me just put out the music, right? Because I was already getting my followers excited. People are like, okay, there's a book coming. We're looking forward to this book. A lot of people are anticipating the book, right? I mean, I spoke about the book not only on my podcast or social media, I mean, even on my podcast and chill. So a lot of people knew, we're expecting a
book's coming
before the end of the year from Khotman. So next year, June 16, so it drop next year.
Okay.
So I'm rewriting from scratch. So ngenza ngamabomu ukumention adideng so that amachitana out there, they must also learn ukuthi it does not mean sometimes ukuthi into naso iqedile and abanye sekumele ufile. And I also acknowledge the fact that Tracy would reject the manuscript, because she could have easily taken it and said, "Let's release it in time for the festive season so that we cash in, all of us, sell books and let's make money." But she was honest enough to worry about the integrity and the standards of the type of work, that we've been putting out there. And also she's very strict about her own name, which she has to align it all, put her name on something that is, immaculate work or black excellence or whatever you want to call it. And journey yami bengizoyichaza kahle nokuyicacisa kahle encwadini, because sometimes on my podcast we do long format conversations. Sometimes they get chopped up and you don't really get a proper chance to explain certain things. It's beautiful. I'm the happiest that I've ever been in my life, although I've gone through the most difficult challenges than I've ever gone through. But I understand such is life. With great with great
power
comes
great responsibility.
Exactly. And I understand that. I was putting through all those difficulties to be built, to be able to handle the future that's coming my way. And I understand the future is bright. But there is no better education than the education of self. There is no better knowledge in life than the knowledge of self. You gotta know who you are. You gotta know whose you are. You gotta know where you're from. You gotta know you gotta know you gotta know where they come from. You gotta know things. You gotta know about yourself. You gotta know your family tree. You have to know your lineage. And that's what one has been doing over the past couple of years. Because if you don't do that, you are doing an injustice to your own children. Because that's so vaile. Kancane kuba more difficult for them ukuthi bayosearcha inkaba yabo abantwana bakho, because abanye abantu sebabhodile iminyaka sehambile. The more difficult it becomes, because now they're a new generation. Sebabadala itime alisekho mhlawumbe itime alisekho kunzima for them to, it becomes more 100%. Difficult for them to trace their lineage and where they come from. And that's why I dedicated the past couple of years and just my life to say, I have to really know whose I am. I have to really know myself. I have to really, really understand my family tree. Ngifuna ukucava umkhulu wami, ngifuna ukucava ukhokho wami, ngifuna ukucava umkhulu kamkhulu wami, ngifuna ukucava ukuthi baphuma va, ngifuna ukucava ithama lami likhulele va, ngifuna ukunderstand ifamily yasedladleni, ngifuna ukucava abanye engingabacavi akade kuwabantwana bakabo umkhulu wami, ngifuna ukucava as much as I can cava. And that's why umuntu uyazulazula nabo uncle family, nabo malume, nabo babo mncane, and finding out your half siblings, you know, half brothers there. And that's what one has been going through over the past couple of years. And I think it translates itself to the public through the type of content one would create online. Because now these people, as I bring them for my audience, I'm also learning. Because there's a lot of things that I don't understand. I'd like to encourage people to go check out an interview. That interview became so emotional. She's such a gifted sister. You're amazing, my sister. You are incredible. The energy that she had in that interview, I think we did it at AMPD Studios. I ended up asking questions not for the public. It was for myself. The way the way I had goosebumps and the way I became so emotional, I even had tears in my eyes over the things that she was saying. And I was learning so much from her. And every time I have any of those types of guests or any book that I open and try and learn from, or any podcast that speaks that type of rhetoric, I learn so much, new things all the time. And that's why for me, I was like, it's okay. I am going to learn as much as I can, not only for my kids now, because of being passionate about sharing knowledge. I'm also going to share as much as I can as I go through my own journey. So you will understand it properly when the book does come out. But yes, it's been an incredible journey. It's been filled with ups and downs. It hasn't been easy. Dealing with family, dealing with distant family members, dealing with others that you don't know, who you're just meeting now, having memories and thoughts, this could have been done earlier while my father was still alive. You know, going through all those mixed emotions and a roller coaster ride of different emotions and different lessons as you grow. And I guess apart from the content that would manifest itself to the public, I guess even the look. And I don't think I'm the only one. I think when people go through certain things in their life, that thing that which they're going through internally manifests itself somehow through the type of work that they do, whoever that person is. And somehow it manifested itself through my content, through the way I dress, through the way I look. You know, I would say that this is all part of it. You know, it's not an intentional decision. You know, it just happens on your own. As you learn this consciousness, some reason, like even when I start noticing other people in the past, I started looking at about Steve Biko. I started looking at all of our African spiritually inclined people who are so spiritual. You find that a lot of them are kami food, shefi. I was interviewing Itaima. Thank you to Prof. Dr. Lwazi Lushaba in Cape Town a couple of weeks ago. Same thing. I didn't say anything to him, but I'm like, you know? And it's not like me, the decision. No. For me, it just happened on its own. And the next thing I know, when lockdown ended and everybody was shaving, I just left my hair. Because now I was locked indoors, continuing with this education. But even before lockdown, I traveled to the pyramids of Giza. I traveled to Egypt. I traveled to Ethiopia, went to the museum in Ethiopia, learned about Lucy and the history, learned about the Haile Selassie, learned about, you know, the war and them defeating the Italians. I went to Tanzania, spent some time there, learned so much about our history, learned so much about Kenya, and in drips and drabs, right? Because you can't learn everything in just a single trip. But all these things sort of contribute in molding this person that I am becoming. And then now doing this content and getting all these African spiritual people to come and speak and share knowledge, it just keeps making me a difference. And how it manifests itself and to the audience of people who are used to seeing me in suits, they are concerned. Like, others are really concerned because they care. And I understand that. But it was not for me to sort of, it was not for the public. It was my own, I wouldn't call it selfish journey. It's a selfless journey, but somebody else can say the act or the deed was selfish for me to not communicate everything through every step of the way, because sometimes they don't need to be said in public. They don't have to be communicated.